It's time for another edition of Sports Store on Enterprise Television. This is the program where we take you on a journey through all the recent happenings in sports. I'm Josh Ikokoli. We are live, and here are the headlines. Former Super Eagles defender Taribo West points out the missing element from Austin Eguavon's coaching. Nottingham Forest sets to offer a new contract to priority player Ola Aina. We will also take a look at results of Wednesday's UEFA Champions League and Thursday's UEFA Champions League fixtures. Let's take a quick time out on Sports Store. When we come back, we will dig deeper into all the items on our menu. Welcome back to Sports Store on Enterprise Television. I am being joined by none other than the dynamic sports producer and analyst Ejiro Emeni. Ejiro, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Of course, we've been seeing all the current updates happening in sports, and definitely get your thoughts when the time comes on all the happenings in sports.
And I'm ready for that.
Of course, definitely. That's why you are the dynamic analyst. Former Nigerian international Taribo West has shared his thoughts on Austin Eguavon's tenure as interim coach of the Super Eagles. Eguavon, who has led Nigeria's national team on 4 separate occasions, has shown flashes of brilliance. But according to West, there's only one element missing from his coaching approach, which is grace. Despite leading Nigeria to a 3rd place finish at the 2006 AFCON and winning all 3 group stage games at the 2021 AFCON, Eguavon's tenure has often been defined by missed opportunities when it matters most, such as Nigeria's failure to qualify for the 2002 FIFA World Cup, and even in 2006, his failure to take Nigeria to the final of that tournament. While Taribo West acknowledged that Eguavon's tactical approach often brings out the best in the Super Eagles players, he stressed that results haven't consistently followed. The former AC Milan and Inter Milan defender West, who turned to full-time pastoral ministry after his football career came to an end, thinks that further investment in Nigerian coaches will do the national team better than its investment in foreign coaches. Ejiro, over to you. Pastor Taribo West, former Super Eagles player, former teammate of Austin Eguavon at the 1998 FIFA World Cup, has said that Eguavon lacks grace, just grace, as the manager of the Super Eagles. 2006 AFCON, 3rd place finish, should have beaten Ivory Coast and played in the final. Maybe we might not have beaten Egypt, who went on to win 3 consecutive AFCON titles. 2012, failed to qualify for Nigeria to the AFCON. For AFCON 2012, the qualifiers was in 2010/2011, failed to qualify Nigeria to the AFCON 2022. Also failed to qualify the under-23 team to the Olympics in the same 2012. In 2003, Austin Eguavon also failed Nigeria to qualify to the next round of the under-17 World Cup. We finished 4 points behind Argentina, Costa Rica. We did not qualify to the next round of the 2003 under-17 World Cup. And then 2021, you won 3 group stage games, emerged as the best coach of the group stage, and failed in the first knockout stage game against Tunisia. We lost 1-0 out of AFCON 2021 that we were the favourites. Then, against Ghana, Jollof Derby, we did not qualify for the 2022 World Cup, missing out on a tournament missing out on beating a Ghanaian team that was very weak, and they were eliminated by Comoros in AFCON 2021 group stages. Do you agree with Taribo West, or you disagree with Taribo West that it's not an issue of grace, but maybe Eguavon is perhaps not up to the task?
I agree with Taribo, because you can't tell me all those events, all those events that we lost in, it's coincidence. Like, come on, 2006, come back to down to 2026 World Cup. You can't tell me. You faced one of the weakest Ghana sides in recent years, and we drew, I think, 0-0 in the first.
We drew 0-0 in Ghana.
In Ghana, then came
played
there.
1-0.
I expected us to do much, and we played 1-0, and we lost on away goals, right? Yeah. And yes, he just needs, I don't know, that was that final touch and which he said grace. Maybe Taribo has entered ministry. Maybe you should pray for him. And we'll see what.
Maybe Eguavon needs to appease some deities or something.
Maybe he needs
because it seems like when he gets to the final hurdle, the most important part,
actually,
he fails there.
If you look at it, his record, he has 26 or 27 games with us, and he has won 18 or 19 and lost 5, drawn 3. Like those 5 he has lost has actually cost us a lot. If you look at it, the rest that we win, I feel he should know how to make the boys play under pressure. It's when it matters the most, that's when he vanishes. You see, his tactic doesn't align and everything just falls apart for him. So I feel he just needs to work on himself. When maybe he changes tactics, who knows? During the final stages when it matters the most, maybe he changes tactics, maybe he uses another form of tactics that thinks he works instead of using his own that works normally. Maybe it's just grace, but who knows? You just have to wait and find out.
Quickly, the NFF trying to appoint Labadia, tax issues. Winifred Schaefer deal seems to be shaky. Should the NFF just settle and reappoint Austin Eguavon once again?
I feel like Eguavon is actually the right man for the job. That's what I feel though. But while looking for, that's the thing, we invest too much on foreign coaches, people that have normally seen the game, who have played the game, who understand the game. That's who we want to put. But Eguavon too has been there, and I feel he can actually do the job for Nigeria.
So maybe he needs to find a way to get himself off the whole bad luck that's made him not win when it matters most.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move over to other stories right here on Sports Store and tell you that Premier League club Nottingham Forest wants to retain Nigerian defender Ola Aina beyond the expiration of his contract this season. The 27-year-old joined Forest on a free transfer in July 2023, and he was offered a 1-year deal with an option for another year. And in May 2024, Nottingham Forest triggered that option, and the defender's current deal now lasts until the end of the season. Nottingham Forest extended his contract for another year. The Nigerian international defender has made 4 league starts this season, as Nuno Espirito Santo, the manager of Nottingham Forest, has used him on both the left back position and the right back position. In defense, Aina is deemed to be a priority for the 2-time champions of Europe who wish to secure the player's long-term future. The fullback is free to leave the Tricky Trees as a free agent next summer if the contract extension that Forest are trying to do is not completed before then. Over to the UEFA Champions League. Let's say that the tournament, the biggest club football competition in the world, continued on Wednesday, and in the biggest game of the night, a repeat of the 2023 UEFA Champions League final, there was nothing to separate the champions of England, Manchester City, and the champions of Italy 15 months after that final in Istanbul, where Man City scored via Rodri lone goal to lift the trophy for the first time in their history. The 0-0 draws between Manchester City and Inter Milan in their rematch of the 2023 final was the headline of Wednesday's activities after Bologna and Shakhtar Donetsk also could not find a goal. It capped an untypical goal-shy evening for the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday, where we witnessed just 13 goals in 6 games, while on Tuesday, 28 were netted, including 11 in the game between Bayern Munich and Dinamo Zagreb that ended 9-2 at the Allianz Arena. In other games on Wednesday, Paris Saint-Germain and Girona also were heading for a blank scoreline until a horrible 90th minute error by Spanish debutant goalkeeper Paulo Gazzaniga spilling across from Lino Mendes through his legs into the net, which was a sad way for Girona to lose that particular encounter. In Germany, at the Westfalen Stadium, Borussia Dortmund BVB needed late goals from substitute Jamie Gittens twice and a Sergio Guirassy goal in stoppage time to win 3-0 at Club Brugge. The new format of the Champions League has welcomed new faces, long absent friends from the tournament like Sparta Prague, who returned to the competition for the first time in 19 years as they beat Red Bull Salzburg by 3-0. Bologna, who played a goalless draw, waited 60 years to return to the competition and really deserved more for its attacking ambition against Champions League veteran Shakhtar Donetsk. But the Ukrainian champions, who had a penalty saved in the 4th minute by Bologna's Polish goalkeeper Lukas Skorupski, played goalless. Elsewhere, Slovan Bratislava were overmatched in its first game since 1992-1993, another returnee into the Champions League. This is the first season for Slovan Bratislava in the new format of the Champions League. The last time they were in the Champions League, it was still called the European Champions Cup, ECC. But they lost 5-1. And of course, their defender, Guram Kasha, made his competitive debut at age 37, a record for this season so far. They lost 5-1 to 1967 UEFA Champions League winner Celtic in an unstoppable game in Glasgow. They defeated Slovan Bratislava 5-1. Irish internationals Liam Scales and Adam Ida scored for Celtic. Japan forwards Kyogo Furuhashi and Daisy Maeda with and Angels of Belgium scored the 5 goals for Scottish champions Celtic against Slovan Bratislava. 5-1 Celtic defeated Slovan Bratislava. 13 goals scored on Wednesday, unlike the 28 scored on Tuesday. Manchester City goalless against Inter Milan. Let's start with the Man City game quickly. Is Erling Haaland a poor big game player? Does he not turn up to the party when he gets to big games?
Well, I mean, if you look at the numbers, I feel Haaland was held. He was actually held. He only had 14 touches throughout the game. That's actually low for someone like him. He had 14 touches, 1 shot on target, 2 out of 4 area duels won. Like Inter Milan had their back.
And it was technically the same thing that happened in the Champions League. Haaland was nowhere to be found as well.
In the final.
2023.
That's how it was. So I feel when it comes to big games, he actually needs, that's the thing, he needs someone to provide for him. He's not the type of striker that goes out to dribble, cut in, and just take shots from anywhere. He actually needs to be provided for. So you need to look at the midfield. If you look into the game, De Bruyne was injured.
Yeah,
he was injured and they had to take him off. Phil Foden is not actually the creative type like De Bruyne, but at least he's coming back from injury, so I don't blame him for that. Even Rodri too. Rodri was coming back from injury, and I just feel today yesterday Man City were off, so they were bringing back their injured players to come and play in the Champions League game. So for them to provide for Erling Haaland, it was actually shaky, but Inter Milan also were a tough side.
Okay, so I know this is still early days and Inter Milan is a tough opposition. Yeah. Can Man City make it amongst the top 8 teams in this new 36 league format?
Yes, they can.
Despite the draw,
they still can.
Because the likes of Bayern Munich have already scored 9. They already have a goal difference of +7. 9 goals scored, 2 goals conceded. Real Madrid, Liverpool, Juventus. Teams are banging in the goals. In this new format, with Man City needing to score, is it a thing of just this game, or can Man City bounce back in other games against smaller oppositions that Haaland will be able to perform better in?
They will surely bounce back from this game. This game was just fresh. Yeah. You know they have another
initial gra.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You know they have another tough game coming up this Sunday against Arsenal.
Yeah.
My club normally. So I just feel they needed to actually rest some players too. They have to focus on 2 sides now. There are more games in the Champions League. So I feel yes, they'll still bounce back. This is just 1 out of 8.
1 out of 8.
So they'll still bounce back.
Okay, so
they'll qualify top 8. They'll be part of the top 8, I feel.
Okay, talking about Thursday's games for the Champions League. Yeah. Arsenal are playing Atalanta with a Manchester City coming up at the weekend. How do you think this game will pan out for Arsenal, especially in regards to that game coming up this weekend? Yeah,
I feel Arsenal has had their own share of injury scares this period.
Yeah.
Odegaard is out for 2 months. Yeah. Their captain is gone. Saka was injured against Tottenham, but I saw him. He photos of him in training. Yeah, he's back, and our midfield is shaky a little bit. But Arsenal will actually need to rest players. We still need to dominate in this match today. We have enough players.
And it's away from home in Bergamo.
It's away from home. If you look at our away record this 2024, we've played how many games? 11 games and drawn only one, and that was against Man City.
And that's in the Premier League.
That's in the Premier League. But I still feel the away record will still show in this UEFA Champions League. Yes, Atalanta are a tough side. You have Lukman, who is brilliant.
Perhaps the best player this year.
Yeah, and he shows it every time he plays. The ball touches his feet. So yeah, Arsenal facing Atalanta today is going to be a tough fixture, but I feel Arsenal have it in the bag.
Okay, Arsenal have it in the bag according to you. Other games coming up today: Atalanta against Arsenal, Feyenoord against Bayer Leverkusen. Red Star Belgrade will host Benfica. Di Maria signed for another year. Atletico Madrid against RB Leipzig. Stade Brestois against Sturm Graz, and Monaco against Barcelona. Barcelona, who's taking it?
Barcelona takes it.
Even though it's away from home in France.
Barcelona takes that.
Okay, what about Feyenoord against Bayer Leverkusen?
Leverkusen takes it too.
Atletico Madrid against Leipzig.
I feel it's a draw.
It's a draw
for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Then quickly in the EFL Cup, Spurs beat Coventry City 2-1. Late goals scored by Spurs in that game, and Brighton also defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 3-2.
Yeah.
These two sides, do you see them making the top 4 at the end of the season? Brighton and Spurs.
Brighton and Spurs. No, I don't see them making the top 4. Maybe Tottenham top 6. Yes.
For Spurs.
Spurs top 6. Brighton
have not lost this season. 4 wins, 2 draws in all competitions.
Yeah, they've not lost this season. They were lucky against Arsenal
your team.
normally. And
they beat Man United silly.
And you are off. they have their own. They have their off. Manchester United have their own say, but this season, there's 34 more games to go in the Premier League, and there's still more fixtures coming up. So yeah, I feel top 8 for Brighton, top 6 for Tottenham.
Top 8 for Brighton, top 6 for Spurs this season in the Premier League. And that's how we wrap up proceedings on Sports Store for today. Please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Enterprise TV7 on YouTube. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are Enterprise TV7 on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok, which is basically Enterprise TV7, ENTERPRISE TV 7. And you can also like our content, share our content, visit our website www.enterprisetvnews.com, where we give you all the hot stories on the go, the live updates, the exclusives, and the news you can use. Ejiro, dynamic one with you here, Incisive Analysis. Thank you for your time, and we'd love to have you when next we're on Sports Store.
It's always a pleasure to work with you.
Definitely. And before we go, let's leave you with this statement from American basketball legend James Olvano. And he said, and I quote, "Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. This is a call to always persevere, despite the failures and rejection that life may throw your way." I'm Josh Okoli, and I want to thank you for the privilege of your time. Until we meet again on Sports Store, hasta luego.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.